So you're looking to build a brand new home or thinking about buying an inventory home or anything to do with a builder? Well, this video is for you and it's a must watch. Let's have a look. Let's go. Hello and welcome to another episode of Orlandohomeshow, where strategy matters, passion rules. And guys, this is one of the most important videos that I have done. We sell a lot of brand new home and it's really important. This is something that I want to give you first perspective. This house behind me is actually my house. We build this house, and these are the 5 most important things I actually learned while we build this house. Number one, and I'm going to tell you more about it. I had the toughest of the client, which was my wife, but nevertheless, we just closed on this house. It's a beautiful 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathroom, 2-story with a master downstairs. So if you want to watch the video of this specific model, make sure it's called the Xberry model. You can watch that. It's available on my channel. They have 2 different variations of this. Both of them are going to be on my channel, so make sure you check the playlist and you should be able to watch that. The very first thing that I learned while we built this house is the builder is going to tell you, hey, sign the contract, everything is great, it's going to be just 10 to 12 months. Do not believe that, guys. With everything that had happened, it took them 16 months to build this house. And I'm not sure if you know this, builder technically has 24 months to build your house. In our case, it just took way longer. There was a logistic problem, and some of that I can understand, but some of them was just delay because of some things that we chose in the design center were not there and stuff. So let me go ahead and take you inside and tell you about the other 4 things. So make sure you stick around. So the other thing, which was the design center options. Now, before I get into the design center options, I want you to know, when you do a contract, you're going to do a contract based upon structural options, and then you are going to have a design center meeting. So the structural option that we actually chose was to convert this room, which in the original model came as the private dining area with the butler pantry. We changed this and paid more money to have the double doors and changed this into a flex room or an office space. And in the future, we will be actually doing some podcasts out of here. So that would be pretty interesting to watch. But when you go to the design center option, now please keep in mind, the tiles that you see over here is an upgrade, but this was not the original tile that we chose. And do you know that on the contract, it basically will tell you that they will do their best to give you what you choose. However, they have the upper hand that if they couldn't find that, then they can change that to something similar. So as our luck would have it, we did not choose these tiles. They are beautiful, but the tiles that we chose, which we thought would be even better because we have 2 small kids, and it had some sort of the porcelain, they were not as smooth as this. And I know with my little one, especially the 3.5 one, he'll be running around and all that, and we didn't really wanted that smooth of a tile. So what happened is that when we did that, the builder called to say, hey, we try to get these tiles are not available, they came in bad, and so forth. So we were thankful that they did that. However, they came back and said, these are the 2 tiles that you have to choose. And I'm like, hold on a minute. You have a selection of a lot more tiles. Why do you only giving me 2 options? So I had to literally fight with them to have the option to choose other tiles that we wanted, then for them to say, these are the 2 tiles, take it or leave it. So that is something to keep in mind. The other thing that I want you to know is that we did a lot of upgrades. So we did the crown molding. And if you haven't watched my video on the do's and don'ts of building a brand new home, make sure to do that, because one thing that I will tell you, the most amount of money that you're going to spend is your bathrooms and your kitchen. So some of the design center options upgrade we did was this double oven. That's what we did. What we also did is that we did the microwave venting outside. So I talk a lot more in depth in the do's and don'ts of building a brand new home. And guys, if you are looking to buy that home anywhere in Central Florida, Orlando, Greater Orlando, Tampa, or Tampa Bay areas, make sure to check out Orlando Living with D. That is my other channel where I talk about school, hospital, shopping, dining, everything that you need to know to be able to build that. So just keep that. So now let's talk about the number 3 most important thing that I learned while we build this house. key thing that I learned while I built this house was the builder walkthrough. Now, when you buy a brand new home, you're going to have a couple of walkthroughs. One of them, which is the most important walkthrough, and that is something that we always recommend our clients to do. So the very first walkthrough is going to be a pre-construction meeting. In that pre-construction meeting, they're going to talk about the blueprint. They're going to make sure that you chose whatever options you chose structurally are on the blueprint. And then you are going to have a pre-drywall walkthrough where before these drywalls kind of comes up, they're going to talk about the framing and stuff. And that is really, really important. I will also be doing the videos, and if they are not released, they will be releasing. I've done a very specific video on pre-drywall walkthrough and on a walkthrough when the house is complete, so make sure to watch. But in the builder walkthrough, they come up with blue tape and they're going to come around and they're going to mark things like, you know, over here when we did our walkthrough, we had the grouting up there. So you see how this is white. What the builder did is they had this grouting over there. It looked really ugly. So we talked to the builder and they kind of painted it and caulked it so it looks kind of nice and tidy. We talk about little things like one of the doors over here was broken, like this thing was kind of chipped. And then when we closed it, it didn't really close. It was like at an angle. So these are the things that you're going to talk about in that builder blue tape walkthrough. And it's a really important walkthrough. And I can't stress you enough, as real estate agent, we would be happy to do that walkthrough. But at the end of the day, guys, it's your house. It's your house, because I may miss things and I don't know, because everybody is different in things that they note. Like we note, like I had the toughest client, which was my wife indeed. And she came in and she noted like the paint was kind of off, and then right over here you could see the seam. You know, over here you had two of these outside, what do you call them? I can't find the right word, but the outside screens actually is the right word. Outside screens were kind of torn. So these are the things that we talked about. We also talked about the chip in the kitchen that I was showing you before. So these are the kind of things that you are going to find, and it is really important. You take your time, don't let the builder rush you. You take your time, you do the walkthrough and mark every little thing, because that is your only opportunity to be able to do that. In our case, we did that. And then we also did a professional inspection, which I would highly, 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 highly recommend you. We did a pre-drywall inspection. We did an inspection at the end of the day, and they were things that they found. So that is something. Now, if you're buying an inventory home that already is drywall, there's not much you could do, but you have the builder warranty. So that is a little bit of concession on that side, because you have that. But if you are building from scratch, or you buy an inventory home that the drywall inspection is not done, please spend the money. It is going to be well spent. Now let's talk about the fourth and one of the most important aspect of building a brand new home with the builder. So the number 4 point is your taxes and the cost of title. The way the contract is written is that if you don't read, like the builder contract is very builder oriented. There's only very few things that's going to help you and protect you. So it's really, really important. And in most cases, the contract alone is like 50 to 75 pages. I have seen with some builders, it's like 110 pages. And we do this on every single day. So it's really, really, really important that you have somebody that is watching out for you. And there is a rule on our team, you know, what we always do when we have people building houses, whether from scratch or an inventory, we make sure that once a month we go there and get you the updated video and the pictures, and we walk through the whole house, because we are your eyes and ears. And guess what? Our services to you is absolutely free. You do not have to pay us anything. We get paid through the builder or through the seller. So why not use somebody that does that? And I know choosing the right agent is very, very important. So make sure that you check out our reviews. Check us out on Google, Facebook, Zillow, because we pride ourselves in terms of your taxes. What you really need to make sure that when the builder builds the house, in some builders, the contract is written in such a way that they're going to pay the taxes. Technically, they're supposed to pay the taxes till the time they own the property. The closing day belongs to the buyer. So what it means is that if you're closing on 1st of July, they're supposed to pay the taxes until the 30th. The problem with that is that the taxes or the trim notice is not out until October or so. So if you are building a brand new home, the taxes are only taxed on the land. So if you are building a $700,000-800,000 home and the millage rate is, let's say, 2%, that's like almost 0.002 is what they do, and the taxes are, let's say, $8,000 or $9,000. The taxes on the land is only $1,000. They're only going to pay $500, and then you are responsible, and then you get the tax bill and like, hallelujah. So you got to make sure that the contract says that the closing survives the taxes, which is the case in our thing, because we made sure, or I made sure that was the case, because I don't want to be paying, $10,000 in taxes and pay for the whole year when I just got the house in the middle of the year. Do you see what I'm saying? So that is really important. The other thing with that is that your cost of the title insurance with the builder, usually it's in general in state of Florida, it's a cost for the seller. The seller pays for the title insurance. But when you buy a brand new home, you are responsible for all the endorsements and everything, and the builder, the way they gets along is point number 5. So make sure you stick around, because that is the most important of all. One of the last important point that I want to convey to you is the builder concessions. When you are buying a brand new home, when the market was crazy, they were barely giving you anything. And we bought this house, or we got into contract when the market was crazy and there was line out the door. And we only got $10,000 in concession as compared to what you can get now, because in some cases, the builders are paying all your closing costs. They're giving you refrigerator, washer, dryer, blinds. They're giving you everything. But in our case, that was not the case. And at the end of the day, guys, it's really important that you shop around for the mortgage. So the builder is going to say, so what they did in our case is, here's $10,000 carrot, we're going to give you $10,000 towards closing cost and prepaid. But what they don't tell you is everything else, because if you are paying for your title insurance, you are paying for all the endorsement, that $10,000 is going to be dried up. So you really don't have that much money. But the biggest kicker, we got this property and we just recently closed, and they said, hey, we're going to get this rate, and they were charging me $18,000 for that rate. And when I shopped around, I got that rate, the exact same rate, for $5,000 for 1 point, and they were charging me 3.5 points for the same exact rate. And then they said, oh, we're going to pay $10,000 for it. And I'm like, okay, let me do the math. You're charging me $18,000. You're going to pay $10,000. So I'm still going to pay $8,000. Whereas in the outside market, I can get that for $5,000 or $6,000 for this in my case. Why would I do that? The math did not add up. And this is why it's really, really important that you have somebody on your side who does this for a living, who understands these things. And this is something that my team and we are very, very proud of, because we are here to help you. We are your eyes and ears. So if you go on the internet and looking, and even if you haven't chosen the agent, let them know that you have an agent, you have representation, because especially if you're out of town, and you are not here, or even if you are in town and you're like an hour away or 2 hours away or whatnot, get yourself, because getting an agent is not going to cost you anything. And if you think that you can get a discount, try that. Go to the builder, say, hey, give me the discount on the commission that you'll pay an agent. That's not going to happen, because our commissions are paid through their marketing budget, not through the price of the house and so on and so forth. So please keep that in mind, because we can help you not only negotiate a good price, because we know what one builder is doing as compared to another. This is something that I really wanted to do. Now, I'm not here to bash any builders, and that's not my intention. As a consumer, as someone that does this for a living, someone that just recently built a house, this is more of a PSA or a public service announcement, so that you are aware of what goes on behind, because to somebody that does not know, you could be taken out to the cleaners. And I'm not saying that every builder will do that. There are some great reputed builders and they will do the right thing, but there are also some builders, they will take every single corner cut and just do what they need to do. And while you are spending your hard-earned money, you're paying top dollar for the property, and you should expect the top house because you're not getting any discount. So that is something to keep in mind. I really hope that our videos bring in a lot of knowledge. We spend a lot of time, effort, energy in kind of creating these videos for you and educating you. And we hope that when it's time for you to buy a house, or when it's time for you to have a real estate need for yourself, your friend, your family, you will think about us. We are also going to be doing this video in Spanish, and yes, my Spanish is still poquito, so I would have amazing Ana Karina do that in Spanish, but this is something that you guys really need to know and have somebody on your side. So don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, don't forget to check me out on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you for watching. Until the next video, bye for now.